Well, I have the keys here to the M5 CS. It looks fantastic, and I'm looking forward to getting it on track. I would say the first thing I'm impressed with is, wow, the power, the torque, the agility of this car. I mean, the M5 and the M5 competition were already remarkable machines. Second thing I noticed, I never realized how big of a difference materials can be. I mean, this Alcantara wheel, the feeling it gives in your hands, it just feels like a race car. The feedback that you get from these carbon bucket seats really transforms, in my opinion, the entire feeling of this car. All the way to redline. And all the details that they've put into this CS is just insane. The boys in Munich at BMW, and they have outdone themselves on this one. Let me just say that right now.
Well, the development of this car began some in 2017, 2018, so 3-4 years ago. And the goal or the target of the whole thing was to bring the CS letters, which stand for competition sport, to the next, let's say, next segment. After the successful M2 CS, M3, M4 CS, we decided, okay, let's go one step further, take the M5 and see what's going to happen if we put the CS letters on it with the next level of driving performance and all the typical CS ingredients. As the 4.4 liter engine is already so performant and so strong, we didn't have to change hardware. We did it with some software updates, so that we could increase the power output to 635 horsepower. And the torque level changed a bit. We have the same torque with 750 Newton meters, but the characteristics of the engine changed in order to really reach the ultimate high performance. We always have to have in mind that if we tell or communicate a figure, which is 3.9 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, we have to keep in mind that this number has to be, let's say, reproducible. So let's say a good driver has to be able to reach this number, be it a customer, be it a car test magazine or whatever. So of course, during development, we had different levels of acceleration with our test cars. But in the end, the 3.0 is the number where we say, okay, this can be, let's say, guaranteed to be achievable. As I mentioned before, the overall target of the car was to increase the performance overall on track and also on road, which means we had to define a power to weight ratio for this car, and taking out at the end 70 kilograms means that we started with integrating components like the carbon ceramic brakes, or special carbon seats into the interior. We reduced noise insulation materials, and we took some special measures like also the carbon hood to really, let's say, decrease the weight of the car while increasing the performance. There, the idea was developed to not only implement carbon front seats, but also do a special rear seat installation with 2 single seats. And as you mentioned, the 4-seater or the sedan concept we still have the Isofix preparation for baby seats and stuff in the rear. Those light tubes will be in yellow. It is, let's say, reminds us on the tradition of BMW in motorsports, in endurance racing, as you mentioned. And we wanted to bring this element to the special car to show or to bridge the two worlds of road and race cars in the tradition of BMW M. This is the yellow light tubes, which I think
very
fit
impressive.
perfectly also to the car as such.
Yeah.
We have learned a lot from the M8 Grand Coupe, and we took some dampers from this car. And for the M5 CS, we took the same setup, but then refined it in terms of adapting it to the reduced weight, to the track tires which we offer for this car, and to the, let's say, to increase the overall handling performance and feeling, so that it gets even more precise, even at absolute high speed, but still stays comfortable enough to do longer road trips with it. The sound is different from the regular M5, but also there it's still okay. You feel comfortable as a driver or passenger, and all these measures lead to a, let's say, full everyday usability of the M5 CS.